Taika Waititi was announced to direct a Star Wars movie almost 4 years ago, but since then, the mood around the movie has changed amongst the fans. Brace yourselves because Taika's also revealed what type of movie we can expect from him. However, I have to say, I feel like this is the last thing Star Wars needs right now.
They are beautiful.
Yes, they are beautiful.
So let's go through this article today from Screen Rant. It goes on to say director Taika Waititi has jokingly stated that his upcoming Star Wars movie will divide the fan base of the franchise, something he is likely correct to assume. Waititi was confirmed to helm a Star Wars movie in 2020, shortly after directing the Season 1 final of The Mandalorian. However, with 3 other upcoming Star Wars movies being announced at Star Wars Celebration 23, many wondered whether Waititi's project would still happen, amid a slew of rumours and speculation that the film had been cancelled. Taika Waititi himself stated his Star Wars movie is still going ahead and that he was simply taking his time to get it right. Now, taking his time to get it right does sound good, and to be honest, that was one of the biggest criticisms fans had on the sequel trilogy, in that it felt rushed. And to be honest, it was rushed. You see, Lucasfilm wanted 3 years to work on each movie, but they were only given 2 by Disney, so they didn't really have a choice in that respect. You see, Taika's situation, on the other hand, is very different, in that he doesn't actually know what Star Wars story he wants to tell. That's the whole reason for the delay, and that's the whole reason that this movie's been stuck in the writing process for nearly 4 years. By all accounts, he's got a beginning and an ending, but he hasn't got the middle part, which you could argue is the main part of the movie, and that's the part that's going to bridge the beginning and the end together. It's not that he's spending this time perfectly crafting the story and filling in all the finer details, he just literally doesn't know what the story is. And according to recent reports, Lucasfilm have reportedly given him the green light to go off and work on 4 other scripts that are nothing to do with Star Wars before he returns to complete this one. Now, this has taken him 4 years to get to this point, bearing in mind, and if he's now going to go and work on another 4 scripts, we could be looking at not potentially getting this movie until 2030. That means it would be a whole decade that he's spent on making one movie. Now, if you look at George Lucas, he literally knocked out a trilogy in that amount of time. And in my opinion, if the story's not there, and it sounds like it isn't, then the story shouldn't be made. In light of these comments, Waititi mentioned the state of his Star Wars film again in an interview with Variety. When asked whether his project would present the version of Star Wars synonymous with the franchise, you know, the Star Wars that's lasted since 1977 and the reason we're all sitting here still now, the filmmaker replied, "It will be a Taika Waititi film. It's gonna piss people off." This comment came with a knowing laugh from Waititi, whose prior films have been no stranger to wacky comedy alongside deep emotion complete with jarring tonal shifts. Wow. Okay, this isn't what you want to hear from the director of a Star Wars movie, especially in the time we're in at the moment. Taika Waititi, I feel, in this situation needs to read the room a lot better and realise the standing that the sequel trilogy has with the fans. Does Star Wars really need another film that's going to divide the fans like The Last Jedi? And it says it right here, wacky comedy. That's exactly the type of movie that Taika likes to create. And Rian Johnson, let's not forget, tried to inject his version of comedy into Star Wars with the General Hux mum jokes. And I have to be honest with you, in my opinion, that's the cringiest Star Wars moment in the entire franchise. Now, mentioning it's going to be a Taika Waititi film, I've actually found a paragraph where he explains just what a Taika Waititi film is. Check this out. Talking in a newly released movie special book, Waititi acknowledges that it was very difficult to find the right tone. It's an ongoing battle because I want my films to be entertaining, he says, and I want a lot of humour in them, to poke fun not only at the idea of the space Viking, but also to poke fun at humans, how we bumble our way through life on this planet. Of course, the last part wouldn't really be relevant to the Star Wars movie because up until now, Earth hasn't featured at all, unless he's gonna put it in there. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. But of course, looking back there, he mentions that he wants his films to be entertaining, which is good. But he also mentions that he wants a lot of humour in them, which in my opinion isn't so good. Star Wars has this specific type of humour, the humour carried by characters like C-3PO. And when he talks about poking fun at the Space Viking here, you can almost see that being replaced with Space Wizard, and that would not go down well with Star Wars fans whatsoever. With all of that being said, he did direct the Season 1 final of The Mandalorian, which I personally feel is a very good episode. And I have no doubt that he could potentially make a fantastic Star Wars movie. However, with The Mandalorian, I feel like he was working within parameters set by Jon Favreau. Whereas if he was going to make his own Star Wars movie and he had complete control over the story and what went on within it, we could end up with something closer to Thor: Love and Thunder than The Empire Strikes Back. So let me know in the comments, are you looking forward to Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie? Remember to leave a like if you enjoyed today's video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll catch you in the next one. May the Force be with you.